All right, folks, picture this for a second. You're a parent. You've got work in the morning. Your kid's backpack is sitting by the door. Your lunch is packed. The routine is set. Everything is normal. And then, late at night, your phone buzzes. You check your messages, and school is closed tomorrow. Not because of snow, not because of a power outage, and not because of some unexpected emergency. It's all because of a protest. And just like that, your entire next day changes. It's a Friday. Now you're scrambling. Who's watching the kids? Can you miss work? Do I have to call in? Can I afford to do it? That's a big thing. And you're left sitting there thinking, how did this happen so fast? Folks, I'm Peter Boykin, and this is your Go Right with Peter Boykin. I'm your Constitutionalist for Liberty, where we cut through the noise, ask the questions others won't, and bring it to the people and the principles that are supposed to guide the constitutional republic. You can find more at GoRightNews.com, PeterBoykin.com, GoRightNC.com, and the new GoRightMusic.com. Now let's break down what I was talking about. Across North Carolina, school districts started announcing closures, one after another, some just days before, some even closer to that. At least 15 districts. You might want to check yours. From Pennsylvania County to the east, to Gaston County near Charlotte, including Alamance Burlington schools right here in the middle. And the reason? A coordinated teacher protest in Raleigh. Thousands expected to show up, marching, rallying, calling for more funding, more resources, more support for public education, which is a good thing. And again, though, let's be clear about something. The right to protest is fundamental. It's protected. It matters. But here's where the situation shifts. This wasn't spontaneous. This was organized, encouraged, planned ahead of time. And when that plan translated into reality, it meant hundreds of teachers taking the same day off all at once. Pitt County alone reported over 500 staff absences and more than 200 substitute positions they couldn't fill. Think about that. That's not a small gap. That's a system-wide strain. School officials said they couldn't guarantee proper supervision for students, and at that point, they made the call to shut down. But let's pause there for just a moment. Because this is where the real-world impact comes into focus. Who actually feels this? It's not the lawmakers. They're rarely seen in session on a Friday. It's not the organizers. They planned for this. It's the families of the children. It's the parents working hourly jobs or balancing multiple responsibilities. It's the households that don't have backup plans built into their schedules. And it's the students losing another day of structured learning, another day of consistency. Now we're going to zoom out, because this isn't just about one protest. It's about a pattern. We're seeing more situations where public systems, taxpayer-funded systems, are directly impacted by coordinated political action, where the line between public service and political leverage starts to blur. And that brings us to the core question. Is this about education, or is it about power? Because when a system can effectively pause itself due to coordinated absence, that becomes more than advocacy. That becomes influence. That becomes pressure. And in a constitutional republic, that's something we have to examine very carefully. Now again, none of this means that issues being raised aren't important, because they're important. Teachers deserve to be heard. Education funding deserves serious discussion. Resources matter, but so does responsibility. So does reliability. So does the expectation that when families depend on a system, that system must show up. And what we're watching happen, not just in North Carolina, but across the country, is this growing intersection between activism and essential public services, where decisions made by political purposes ripple outwards and land hardest on everyday people who are struggling. The ones who didn't organize it, the ones who didn't plan it, and the ones who just have to deal with it. And here's the question I want you to really think about. Where is that line? Where's the line? Where do we draw it between the right to protest and the responsibility to serve? At what point does advocacy start creating instability for the very people these systems are supposed to support? Because if that line keeps shifting, if it keeps moving further and further away from accountability, then it won't be the people in positions of power who see it first. It'll be you. It'll be your family, and it'll be your day that gets disrupted next. Folks, this is Go Right with Peter Boykin. I'm your Constitutionalist for Liberty. If you want more real conversations, more breakdowns like this, and a voice that's not afraid to ask the uncomfortable questions, make sure you follow, share, and connect. Again, on the websites, GoRightNews.com, PeterBoykin.com, GoRightNC.com, and GoRightMusic.com. Our websites on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, everywhere I can put it out there, Spreaker, the podcasts. Share, like, follow. Remember, folks, when everyday life gets disrupted by political decisions, that's when it's time to stop scrolling and start paying attention. It's time to go right. God bless everybody. Peace.